Hey, how are you? Buongiorno, ciao, come stai? Welcome to Misano. It's round 13 of MotoGP in 2024, and we're here at the rather magnificent Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. It's the San Marino Grand Prix, and we're outside the Prima Pramac Racing box for good reason, because it's Jorge Martin that led the opening free practice session of the weekend from a resurgent Marc Marquez and wildcard Paul Espargaro. Not too much of note to report, really, from the opening session of the weekend. Looks as though it is as we were from Aragon just a couple of days ago, of course. Last weekend we had the Aragon Grand Prix, where I'm sure if you're watching this, you're clearly a fan of MotoGP. You don't need me to tell you that Marc Marquez won for the first time in 1,043 days. As we see Fermin Aldeguer going past, try and knock it off. Be a nuisance as usual. Normally, in fact, why do we go this way? Because normally we chat to Pecco Bagnaia, don't we, on a Friday morning? We have our usual get-together. He comes, he does autographs, he does selfies, he spends a very, very commendable amount of time with the fans. And we have a little bit of a chit-chat, a bit of banter. But last time out, I walked in with confidence and told Pecco that, of course, the previous times that we've spoken, he's had great success on a sundown. He's good luck charm. Unfortunately, that ended in Aragon. So I'm not going to put any more bad luck onto the shoulders of the world champion, who isn't there at the moment, because things didn't really go to plan for him in Aragon. From the opening session all the way through to Sunday night, it was a forgettable one for the world champion. So we'll leave him to it. We won't bother him on this Friday morning. As you can see, there are plenty of fans there hoping to try and get a picture with him anyway, so he looks as though he's going to be rather busy. What we can do, though, is, as we see Jorge Martin, is he just chatting down there? In fact, there is, well, I'm not sure we're supposed to show you that, actually, because that is, anyway, come away, you're not allowed to look at that. Bit of an exclusive. There'll be some of you taking screenshots and zooming in there. He's just helping out with the Hollywood movie that is being, some of it, filmed this weekend here at Misano. Idols, it is called. I might get told off for telling you that, but anyway, there you go. Bit of an exclusive. We've got some A-listers floating around. They help out for, the big movie that's coming. I'm not sure when, actually, but looks exciting from what we've seen. Past the Yamaha garage, of course, exciting news for them. We know already Prima Pramac Racing will be moving across to Yamaha in 2025, and the first of their two riders was officially confirmed yesterday in the form of Miguel Oliveira. We fully expect the next one to be Jack Miller. That's probably going to come your way next time we're here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, but positive news anyway for the Portuguese rider to be officially confirmed on the grid for 2025. And with another exciting project as well. He was saying yesterday how he moved to the Tech 3 KTM team when they first became the satellite operation, the independent team operation for KTM. Did exactly the same a couple of years ago when he joined Trackhouse Racing, just as Aprilia were branching out to 4 bikes, and now the same again for Prima Pramac Racing. So you do feel that that is a man that has been there, done it, understands the early pitfalls that can happen sometimes when you're bringing on a new project and growing a project for the first time. So you feel that brain power is going to be very, very useful indeed. Here is the Trackhouse Racing concern. And why don't we pop down in this direction and just see what's going on. We might be able to grab a word with Davide Brivio. I don't know, let's just see. This is the action end of pit lane. There's always something going on down here. It's where I'm hoping that we might be able to catch the eye of potentially a rider or two. There's Max Biaggi there that might be of interest, because other than that it looks pretty quiet at the moment. So why don't we grab a word with Max Biaggi. He's always good value is Max. Always interesting to get his thoughts on how he sees things at the moment. As you see, he's just chatting away with friends and family here. Max, very quickly, how are you? All okay?
Good, very good. Nice weather, not so hot, not so bad.
We're in Italy, the sun is shining. I mean, doesn't get much better, right?
The food is great.
It is. The coffee's good.
But I heard on Sunday maybe some shower.
I also heard that.
So that doesn't make me very optimistic for the weekend, but so far looking good.
How did the Aprilia guys get on? You're in the box there, soaking it all up?
Yeah, I think not so bad. You know, nobody changed the tires, so they only use one set. It looks good, not so bad really. Of course, now in FP2 is again a kind of pre-qualify where everybody change tire, push harder. We'll see. We know very well that Ducati is looking very strong, but we try to do to play our role, and Italy maybe can be much better than Aragon.
Yeah, I mean, it can't get much worse than Aragon for you guys. It was. I know. Sorry to remind you, it wasn't a great weekend.
Yeah, terrible.
Fastest or up there second, Marc Marquez again. A lot of people asking the question: is he in this title fight? I guess depends what happens this weekend. If he's able to do something similar and he wins again, then he definitely is in the mix for the World Championship, right?
Yeah, it's big rumors about Marquez winning, and it's open up a new vision, for the future, because everybody know next year will be in the factory in the red team, and start to winning now. He help his position mentally, and not only mentally, but also on the point, because he's moving up. And yeah, I would love to see him, be there and winning more than once. Of course, he's not in the best package technical side of Ducati, but a race in a difficult race where it's maybe wet or half wet, where riders can play a big role. Maybe he can do it again, huh?
Max, thanks for your time. Hope you have a good weekend.
You too, eh?
Enjoy that good food, good coffee.
You too. Wait, don't eat too much pasta, because pasta is going really in the valley,
And pizza as well. It's not good.
I like so much, so I need to.
And the Aperol Spritz are not good as well.
Aperitivo, eh?
Has to be done. Has to be done.
Ice cream. Too many good things.
I'm gonna be fat at the end of the weekend.
That's why we have 2 races in Misano, one after the other. Eh?
It's not good for me. I don't get on the bike.
Plus 2-3 kilos.
I know. Not good. Anyway, have a good weekend.
Thanks.
There we go. Good to chat with Max, as ever. Of course, a multiple world champion across all kinds of different classes, all kinds of different bikes. A bona fide legend is Max Biaggi. As we swoop through, and again, not show you too much what's going on over there. Don't look. You're not allowed to. Top secret filming. And we'll head back in this direction to see if we can grab the thoughts of any of the Ducati guys, shall we? It would be interesting to at least get a sampling, a flavour of how they feel after the opening session of the weekend. And picking up on what Max said, yeah, going to be interesting on Sunday. The forecast is just changing ever so slightly day by day, but the latest one I saw this morning is that rain may well come. In fact, let's just nip down here, shall we? Rain may well come on Sunday. Would you believe it? My forecast says at 2 o'clock, just as the MotoGP race starts. So that'll be fun. Well, for us, not for these guys. Be interesting to see if it does rain, because we've not really had too many opportunities to see these guys go at it in wet conditions so far this year. It was threatening to do so at a couple of venues, but in the end there were no such problems. We've seen Maio Meregali here chatting away. It'd be nice to dive in if we can and just get the thoughts of Maio after the opening session, of course, but ahead of what is a big week. Not only will Maio be busy here throughout the weekend, but then on Monday as well, the official test, where I'm sure they're hoping to roll out the first steps towards their 25 package, the first steps towards getting closer to the front. It'll be just interesting to see how much Yamaha have got for that Monday test, which of course you can see full coverage of on Monday. There'll be a live, just like we're doing now, around 1:30 local time, and then full interviews with all of the top riders, all of the big stories as we go throughout the weekend. Maio, very quickly, he's gone into the truck, he's busy. Oh well, no problem. we'll continue our charge further onwards to see if there is anybody else before we wrap up this Inside the Paddock episode in what is a pretty busy paddock as well. I'm actually quite surprised. Hello, good morning. How is everybody? All looking well. Yeah, busy old paddock for a Friday, I do have to say. As we see, there's Marco Bezzecchi up there. So why don't we see if we can grab a word with Bez on his way back down. And here is the VR46 man. And would you look at this? The VR46 guys have got their own security this weekend. I like this. I'm not going to dive in too quickly because these two gentlemen look rather large actually. They are big chaps who got quite mean faces, so I'm going to take my time and be very careful here not to upset either of them, as Marco very kindly, as we've seen from his good friend Pecco Bagnaia, attends to the fans here, of which there are plenty in attendance, as I was saying. Good to see you, Marcos, doing the signatures, taking the photos, ahead of a big weekend for the world champion. The world champion is Bagnaia, the man that hopes to be world champion one day, I'm sure. Hasn't been too fun of a time at the moment for the number 72. But he's going to have renewed hope this weekend of trying to get back up there and be on the podium, of which he was there on a couple of occasions. As we see Marco with the special socks on as well, which is quite nice. In fact, why don't we just show the socks down here for Marco Bezzecchi. You can see they've got the number 58 on. Quite a nice touch since we're here at the World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. Might ask him about that actually. What a good spot from our producer Sophia over my shoulder, the eagle-eyed Sophia, able to spot even the tiniest of details. That's why she earns the big money. See, continuing to get the photos. We will dive in a second once he finishes off and just see how we got on this morning and ask him about those socks. But yeah, Bez has a good run of form around this place. Second in the sprint, second in the Grand Prix last year as he tried to push Jorge Martin as much as possible. Of course, we'll be not too busy, you would imagine, on Monday ahead of a big move to Aprilia himself next year, where we will be teaming up with Jorge Martin. And this is a big weekend for the team for obvious reasons. There was a big party in Tavullia, Valentino Rossi's hometown, which is only around 20-25 minutes up the road last night. Thousands of fans with a little stage put up there as they introduced the VR46 Academy guys. A good way to kick off the weekend. Pecco asked in the press conference yesterday whether having back-to-back rounds here adds any pressure at all, but he said, actually, I feel at home here, I feel comfortable here. I spend so much time having the support, being able to hear the crowd and having this interaction. It doesn't add any pressure, it just makes me feel more settled. I feel like this is my place, and I'm sure it's exactly the same for Marco Bezzecchi as well. Does thousands of laps around this venue on all kinds of different bikes. So I'm sure that Bez is hopeful of being able to put that experience to good use. So see the final couple of photographs coming in here before we then dive in. I've only got so much I'm able to say and fill here before we do have to dive in. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel, but we will see. Bez, how are you? All good?
All good. You?
Very good, very good. I noticed the socks. I quite like them actually, with the 58 on them. Is that a coincidence, or did you pick them out for the weekend?
No, I picked them out for today.
Very nice. I like
Tonight, when I shower, then I change.
Yeah, I would hope so. That's a good idea. First session, how was it?
Yeah, not too bad. Still struggling a bit, but we are working very hard to arrive to the top. So, not bad.
Good man, good luck. I like this as well. Is this like a special Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, it's a present from a fan that make me this with some of my victories. So, very nice.
good inspiration for the weekend.
Yes, very, very good. I have cool fans.
You do. Have fun. Thanks for chatting.
Thank you, thank you.
There we go. Marco and his cool socks just for today. Hopefully, although he could wash them and put them back on for Sunday. Well, there we go. Nice that he's picked out those special number 58 socks for this, the Grand Prix at the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli. And we finish off here at the Gresini Ducati. No sign of Marc Marquez, but do like him here on duty once again. Quickly, don't show him too much, don't show him too much. I remember I've tried to interview him before. Likes to remain silent. He's got a job at hand. And with that, with Marc Marquez, the latest of our MotoGP Grand Prix winners, can he continue it this weekend? Tune in to find out if the rain does come as potentially predicted on Sunday. I have to say he's got a chance. If he goes back to back, is he back in the title chase? One thing we do know for certain is definitely Martin versus Bagnaia at the top. 23 points between them. Needs a big weekend as the world champion on home soil. Let's see if he can produce the goods. There are plenty of fans hoping that he can do exactly that. Moto E World Champion to be crowned, Red Bull Rookies Cup Champion to be crowned, Moto3, Moto2, MotoGP, big weekend. Don't miss a second of it. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with you probably in this very same place in 2 weeks' time for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us on Inside the Paddock.